Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, so this we've seen, it's very simple, okay? And you're still pulling off the strawberries that they have, that Smucker's has used. Variety flavors, okay, well, we know they have a lot of flavors. Okay, so this is, that's your logo, that's fine. I, I think I suggested before, you might also say, I think maybe the verbiage here is not completely ideal. It says variety and delicious desserts. So it's really a variety of delicious desserts made by Smucker's. So that's something you really should attend to. That's what I would say. A variety of delicious desserts made by Smucker's, because you're saying they're going to get variety, but that the desserts are delicious. But those aren't really the same kinds of words. That Smucker's, they come in a great variety and they're delicious, but you don't really say it that way. You get, it's something, it gives you a lot of variety and they are delicious, makes sense, but in terms of, how to state it in good English is, you would say a variety of delicious desserts. See? So that's the only thing. I think you could make this larger. Why is it so small? It's just sort of sitting in there, but we can barely read it. I think you tried to put in a paragraph here, and I applaud that because it needs a break somewhere. It's just like a big fat block of copy. So, and paragraphs are good for that. You might want to indent, to call further attention to it, or maybe even somehow make 3 paragraphs. That might help. It needs some relief. You see what I'm saying? And usually paragraphs aren't all that long in most cases. I think this is okay. Let's see. This is very, very, very plain, but I think it's okay. I think your type at the bottom looks good. Made with all natural fruits. I thought it was a bit distorted. I think it still is a bit distorted, but I think it looks a little bit, not sure you changed it or not. I can't always go back to every version. Sorry. This is awfully small, though. So what if it was made with all natural fruits? If there was some way to break this up. Also, I don't think you've really paid attention to where the barcodes would be, because this is too small, and okay, so you're mailing it to, this is the person receiving it. I think it would be, you do have a place for postage, but I think, in real direct mail, you'd need probably a barcode. Just, this is very small. I don't know if there's something you could do to incorporate that a little better. But here's one thing you might want to think about fixing that's not hard to fix at all. You might want to take these and just bleed them off the edges, because you never put something that close to the edge. What happens is it either gets cut off or it looks really long on one side. But that's an easy fix. All you have to do is enlarge the box, pull it at this end, making sure not to distort the photo. You have to make sure you're grabbing the frame, and just pull it outside. And that way it will continue. You won't get this curve up here, but that's okay, because when it's trimmed, that's why you have bleed, so that when it's trimmed, it will look okay. Whereas here, you're either going to get a lot of red or it's going to get cut off. So it's not going to ever look good. And that's something that art directors will look for, okay? That you understand the use of bleed. So I would do that on all those photos. That will help. And then sold his, you need a space there, his first jar. You need to also think about your type and do a soft return. Put your cursor there, hit shift return. It brings it down without making a paragraph. You don't ever want something like of or a short word sticking out here. So in this case, I would put the space there, put jar of down, okay, apple butter, today. You see what I mean? It'll even these lines out. You don't want gaps like that. That looks, it doesn't look professional. All right, let me try and get this smaller, because obviously this is too big. Okay, so here, this looks good. I don't know, I'm not sure what class you did it for, if anything like that, but It looks good. I kind of just wish this lady in red, maybe, she's so long. What if this were a bit smaller and she were a bit bigger and her gown was like flowing onto this? You know what I'm saying? Because really this is the main thing, and yet I'm really absorbed in looking at this instead. So I think this would be a lot stronger if you made this lady big, lady, and then it was lady in red. And, this is nice. I think you kind of have to choose a little bit which way you're going there, but you might be able to incorporate both. I'm not sure. But really, if she's the main focus, she's just sort of sitting in the middle here with a lot of space on both sides. I think that's something you could fix pretty well. And she doesn't have to be centered. You're centering everything. Okay, so what if you pulled her down, had lady and the words at the top, she comes further down, and then you flush left, may start this higher up, but you can flush left, ragged right or something, the blocks of copy, or something like that, because again, she's getting lost. And that's the trick to how you use space is, are you really using the space to be active, important space, or is it just kind of blank because she's blocking it in the middle? So that's part of what the issue is here. Let's see. It looks nice on here, but of course you can always just replace it. You see what I'm saying? You can always just put a new one on a wine bottle, so that shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so you have these. They still don't look as sharp as they could be, but it looks like it's pretty well in order. The rhythm of music. It's extremely hard to read type that's set like that. It's nearly impossible. It may be a sort of tour de force of Illustrator, but no one can read this. So what you would want to do instead is to run the copy. It's vertically stacked copy is just not, I don't really think it's at all practical, and I think someone would kind of flag that. Also, I wonder if the rhythm of music, if there's so much space between them, if you pull them a bit closer together, these lines, I think that they would read a little better. But on the whole, I think you can keep this one as is. I think I made some comments as to instead making the photos so that they bleed off the edges or, this way. I just felt like some of your photos weren't incorporated that well, but I think your shots are much better. So I would leave this one, but in favor of maybe doing more with some other things that you need to do. So I think this is pretty good, and I've tried, I'm just trying to give you some extra pointers, but leave that one. I think you could really make this strong if you reworked it, and this needs just some more minor edits and you'd be done, okay?